Welcome back. For our next Utopia adventure, we kayaked down the Bear River, which is the largest tributary of the Great Salt Lake. This was one of the more perilous stories we have produced. We don't like to put our camera guys in too much danger.
So today we're paddling the Bear River, which comes fast and cold, running off the north slope of the Uinta Mountains. It's a fantastic whitewater river. It is so much fun. Total kick in the pants. The Bear only runs when the snow melts, so it's a spring runoff event, and it only lasts a couple weeks. So you gotta watch the gauges, and you gotta get on it and run early. It's this little-known river, and it starts off as this small snowmelt river that flows a little bit dirty, flows steep and fast and cold, and it has a very short whitewater window. So we're lucky enough to be here today to be able to run it. The put-in for the Bear River is just 2 miles upstream of the Bear River campground, just south of Evanston, about half an hour. And we're gonna put in there, and then we're gonna take out about 4 or 5 miles downstream. It starts off very nice and slow, class 2, 2+, 3-, pretty scenic and gorgeous. And then lower down on the river, things pick up the pace. It gets very, very exciting and intense and becomes class 3+ or class 4-. Lower down on the river, it is definitely only for people that know what they're doing and can handle combat paddling. I am extremely nervous because honestly, I haven't pulled my kayak out in a long time, and I wasn't even sure if my paddling gear would fit anymore. So I'm a little bit nervous about paddling, but you know, as long as I don't, swim, die, or embarrass myself on camera, everything's gonna be fine. The Bear River flows off the north slope of the Uinta Mountains, and it flows towards Evanston, across Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming border, crossing it about 20 times before part of it is put into Bear Lake. The Bear River used to flow into Bear Lake in geologic history, but it doesn't flow there anymore. The reason that the Bear flows into the Bear Lake today is because man uses Bear Lake as a storage facility and pumps the river into Bear Lake, stores it, and then generates power out of the Rocky Mountain Power Station there. When the Bear comes out of the Bear Lake, it descends through several canyons before it finally makes its way to the Great Salt Lake. people don't realize about the Bear River is coming up here and just looking at this river, you wouldn't realize how important it is. This river next to me is one of the most important rivers in the Western Hemisphere because this is the single largest water source for the entire Great Salt Lake, which is the largest wetland ecosystem in the American West. The migratory birds that stop at the Great Salt Lake depend on this river because the Great Salt Lake and its wetlands depend on this river for its inflows. Where the Bear River enters the Great Salt Lake is a natural saltwater estuary, and that estuary is very productive in wetland habitat, and that's why there are 220 migratory bird species that stop over at that lake each and every year in their annual migrations. Definitely harder than I thought it would be. It was so much harder than I thought it would be. It just kept getting harder and harder and harder.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to sandbag you.
It's all right. It's all right. That was good.
The lower 10 miles of the Bear River creates a delta on the Great Salt Lake and is protected as part of the Bear River Migratory Bird Refuge, a great place for bird watching during migration. If you've missed any of the past shows, visit our website at utopiatvseries.com. And remember, we don't inherit the earth from our parents, we borrow it from our children.